All right, I just had an incredible swing lesson from Mark Blackburn, Max Homa's swing coach. It was incredible what I learned, and it was a little nerve-wracking because I was in front of a large crowd. You guys are not going to want to miss this one. All right, so let's get into the lesson.
Tell me about golf game.
Okay, so I'm about a 10 handicap.
A real 10 handicap or
Yeah, I think
10?
I'm a little bit better, but I think I'm about a 10.
Okay.
You know, shooting like the mid-80s. I have a very steep swing, and the path is outside in. I tend to slice the ball. My miss is right. Trying to learn to hit more up on the ball with driver, especially. And very steep.
So here's a question:
Yeah.
if you hit up more on the driver, do you know what that's going to do to your club path, which is what makes the ball curve?
I don't know.
So when you hit up, every degree you hit up, you shift the path more outside in. So for you as a slicer, if you're trying to fix a slice, if you hit up on it more, you could slice it more.
Really? Okay.
When you hit down, you actually shift it inside out, which is anti-slice. But the downfall here, now here's the conundrum.
Right.
With a driver, you want high launch and low spin. So if you move the ball back to help you draw it, you're going to hit down on it, which is going to increase your spin. Might help you draw it. So as a rule, if you have the ball further up in the arc, you should honor a fade.
Okay.
That's why a lot of guys fade it, because the geometry sets up better for you.
Okay.
But if you put the ball far enough up in your arc, you can still come from the inside. You catch it later and you're hitting a fade, but it feels like a draw. Now there really is a conundrum.
Yeah, really. Okay.
But
interesting.
if you are trying to hit up on it, you're going to hit up. The path's going to be more left, and if your face is open and you usually slice it, it could slice more. So just put that in your mind.
Okay.
We'll have a look at it. But
okay.
Let's kind of see what you do with a wedge.
Okay.
What's the flight of your wedge typically?
Typically, it's just a little left to right on everything. You'll see it with wedges. You'll see it with irons.
That one was pretty good, pretty straight.
Okay.
How'd you hit it on the face?
Felt good.
Felt good.
So
Okay. Well, if it felt good, that means it's probably close to the middle.
Okay. That one felt better.
That felt better. It's a little bit of a draw.
Yeah.
A bit pulled. Okay.
A little bit of a pull. Another pull, huh?
Little pull. Okay, so if we talk about your fade, the fade and the pull are in the same family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The pull just means you actually squared the face on this one.
Okay.
Now, one would argue, do you want to still fade it or do you want to draw it? What shot do you want to hit?
I would love to draw it.
You'd love to draw it. Okay. All right. I want you to imagine I'm hanging this Rapsodo towel right here, right?
Uh-huh.
Your job is, I want you to imagine that you're going to start the ball somewhere between the towel and this spin axis. Okay? I don't care how you do it. Your job is to start it between the towel and here, and you see this launch direction number that's negative.
Yes.
That means your ball's starting to the left.
Okay.
Okay? If you want to slice the ball or pull it, that's awesome. If you want to actually hit a draw, that's not so good.
Yeah.
Okay? So we're trying to get this to be a positive number. If your ball starts somewhere between the towel and here, that will be a positive number.
Okay.
We have a chance to draw it.
We got a chance.
Now, just as long as you don't get it there by hitting it off the tube and shanking it, we're all right.
Okay.
Let's see how we do. Between the towel and the spin axis number. Hey! Okay. So now, look. You moved the ball back, started right, curving right to left. So when you move the ball back, it's a bit in opposite of what we talked about with the driver. When the ball's back, the club's traveling more inside out. The path is going to be more inside out. The path is what makes the ball curve to the right.
Right.
To make it functional, you need the ball to start right and curve back. That's why the launch direction's important.
Mm-hmm.
That also means that you're shifting the path of your swing more inside out.
Gotcha.
Now, to be a good wedge player, the best wedge players launch the ball lower and they produce more spin. Mm-hmm. To launch the ball lower, you want to kind of lean the shaft with obviously out sticking in the ground. Mm-hmm. Okay? It's easier to lean the shaft when you're swinging more inside out, and this will also get the face a little bit open. Now all you have to do is get the face square. So for you, when your ball gets up and you swing more over, that's where it gets too far left, and invariably you're going to get more of this relationship, because if you actually come here and release it, that ball's a low pull and nobody wants to do that.
Sure.
So the first part is get the ball back, start it right, and let's just see when we hit a few, and we're going to see what happens to kind of the shape of what your swing's doing.
Okay.
We need an incentive for you not to start with your upper body, to start more with your lower body. So like put your arms across your chest. Okay, I want you to turn to the top. Okay, now I want you to imagine, you're going to watch me first, that you're going to keep your upper body still and turn your lower body to the target. Okay? Okay, so you see how your upper body wants to come to?
Yeah.
We want to try and go back one more time to the top. Okay, keep this still, turn your lower body. Yeah. So that's going to be one of the mechanisms, and the reason that you come over is that your upper body is quite dominant, you're strong. Your upper body starts first, as opposed to, you see the best players, they're at the top, their back stays to the target, and their lower body starts, which also, if you look down the line, is going to get that club coming more on the inside track. There's your elusive draw.
Got it.
So at the top, probably need to be a little bit more patient, but we're going to get the ball back externally, and it's powerful, our external cues. The brain's smart. We're trying to start the ball between here and here. And then I want you to be really patient in the transition.
So you're saying to pause it all at the time?
Almost like Hideki would be good for you, because when you go hard, you're going to go like this, and now you're going to shift it out, which is great if you want to fade it.
If you want to fade it. Right. Okay.
Overdone, Sliceosaurus.
Yep.
If you want to be a little bit more precision, and think about this. This club, the wedges are designed, you want to hit a specific distance, a specific trajectory, you're looking for accuracy. So you have every reason that, hey, I can be more patient, I can make sure that my lower body leads, I don't need to get quick from the top. That's all a good thing. Now with a driver, a little different, because you're trying to smash it.
Right.
With this club, it's precision, so you should have no problem being a little more patient at the top.
Okay.
So ball back.
So here.
Start it between the towel, and I honestly wouldn't worry about you saying the ball's way too far back. Well, if that's what you need to do to make it work for you, for your little draw, especially with the wedge, don't worry about it, because it's going to bring the flight down, which will help you.
Okay.
All right, let's
tiny
see
little
it.
pause. Let's see.
Tiny pause, ball back. Pretty good. Did it start right? Okay, a little left. So let's exaggerate it a little bit more. We're gonna give you a little bit more of a cue. Let's make sure there isn't a unit in there. There isn't. Okay. So I want it to start right of that. Okay. That's a much better tempo. Look at that. Low launch with a draw.
Look at that.
Okay. So when it comes to wedges, obviously we're off a mat, but you want to build in what are these, if you like, ingredients that yield the ball behavior that you want. And the reason you want it lower, because when it's into the wind, your ball isn't all of a sudden going to go a drastically different distance.
Right.
The best players peak height somewhere between 50 and 70 feet. That's not very high. So this launch angle is good because it's on the lower side. Spin 9,400, not too bad. Somewhere around 10,000 would be pretty good with that club. So you're doing some pretty good things. So let's try one more of those.
That's promising.
But I want you to really understand that being, as a wedge player, great wedge players is precision, very rhythmical and smooth. You don't want a lot of hit in it.
Got it.
So then the good thing is short club, less taxing on practice. Got you a MLM2, you can practice at home. But then as you get confident with that and you get the better strike, now there'll be some organic translation towards the longer clubs. And then, the driver, you don't need to stand there, which is going to perpetuate what you do, right? And then you can work a little bit on understanding my lower body needs to move first, start to practice that. That feeds into your game. Now all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm working on my short stuff, but it's helping my long stuff. Right. Because the concepts are still very similar.
And I'm going to continue this through the bag as I go up.
Yeah, and I would tell you, here's the great thing with a driver. We talked about the fade. You still can have the drawy feel, but the ball will be far enough up that you'll be hitting up on it, it'll produce a pathy fade without you having to swipe across it, so you still get a shot. You get a shot that falls right, get the high launch, the low spin, but it's not from this. So your ball position relative through the bag is going to produce more of the environment that you want, which is what the best players do, as opposed to, you know, changing your swing, so to speak.
Right.
It's more understanding conceptually this is what will happen with a longer club, so how do I produce that?
So interesting. I love it.
All right, let's try a couple more of the wedges. Start it right at the wrap side, okay? Nice.
Started that a little left, though.
Yeah, little left. That's a little face.
That one didn't feel as good. Okay.
Okay, didn't feel as good. So there's this other thing, like when we practice, and the way, from a motor learning perspective, the way the brain works. The brain responds really well to variability. Okay, so think of Goldilocks. Too much, not enough, just right. So instead of doing the same thing every time when you hit a golf ball, like you might need to practice, it's so overdone I couldn't do it. Then you intentionally use a bad one and then you do it perfectly. Brain responds better like that. So if you're trying to expedite your learning, it's a better way to go. So I want you to do one where you're like, I could never play golf like this. It'd be such a massive hook. So ball back, so far right, feel like you're hooking the snot out of it.
Just try to hook it.
Yep,
Okay.
just overdosed, overdone. Now, what did you notice that you did there?
I turned my wrist, didn't I?
That's fine, but what about the tempo?
Too fast.
You look like you were trying to smash it.
You know why? Because I started to think about something different, and I forgot about that already.
So, here's the thing. When you go hard, okay, you're going to have regression back to what you do.
Right.
So you're going to be big hook, smooth.
Okay.
Okay, that's why, and what happens is the launch direction, whilst we want the path to the right to try and make it curve, the club face is primarily responsible for the start line. So even if you're swinging like this, and you said I use my hands and you twist the face down, the face is pointing left. That's what controls a lot of that launch direction.
Right, got it.
What I'm trying to get you to do is hit more of a path draw, so that you don't have to have a lot of face twist.
Okay.
The path's making it curve left. You just need the face close to the path. If you get the feel of this big hook and the face is a little more passive, you'll get a draw. So this time, same thing, ball back, big draw, but be a little more passive with the face, and let's be like super silky smooth thread couples at the top, not jerky.
Got it.
All right? Off the back foot, big drawy feel.
Club face open.
But look where the launch direction is.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, drive the car.
Yep.
Okay. This is the steering wheel on the car. Steering wheel. I want to go to the left. Turn the face. I know I'm not going around a big turn. A little turn. I need you to twist the handle as you're swinging right.
As you swing.
So look, it's not that, it's this. See, I'm just twisting the shaft. So, this again, grip it. Okay. Twist it towards me. I guess that's all you're trying to do. There we go. How dramatic did that feel?
Not so much. Not so much. I mean, I had to think about this.
Look at the flight.
I like that. Felt good too. Felt like I struck it right in the middle.
So, your sort of three ingredients to make that happen, right? Number one, the ball has to be further back, because that helps you get the shaft forwards. Number two, you gotta be smoother in the transition. You can't have nice Freddy couples in your mind.
I like that. Yep.
Okay. Number three, you have to have enough handle twist to get the face close to the path, because the path's going right, the face has to be a little left of it, but it doesn't need to be so left of it, it goes way left.
Right.
And if you get the path right, here's the conundrum, as you go right, you tend to have the face wants to get more open, so you need some twist to square it up.
Okay.
But you can get this to a simple cue. Externally, if you're practicing at home, If you're using this device, you need to put something here and imagine you're starting the ball right of it, okay?
Okay.
Start line's everything for the launch. If you're outside, you can put a stick on target line and you must start your ball right of it.
Got it.
That becomes really important because you need the launch direction, okay? If you've got that and you're smooth, your only real thought, because you've got the ball back at setup, is to really have a little bit of twist. But the more you want to, setup is really important. You've already got a grip that's on the strong side, which is great, which should help you draw it.
Okay.
We just got to get you to be at the top. Don't go with your upper body. So one drill that would be great for you is swing to the top and pause. Feel like your lower body starts down really silky smooth, more Hideki. That'll be a good feel for you visually. The other thing too for you, if you're using your ML2, add another camera face on and you'll be able to see what you do.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right?
Got it. Mark, thank you so much.
Got it, man. That was
Appreciate it.
awesome.